Good morning to all of my untamed souls to Tuesday, February 6th of 2024. And the card of the day is the Eight of Swords. And in the Eight of Swords, it is an energy about experiencing some thoughts of self-doubt, maybe a little fear or anxiety about something that maybe you could be making bigger in your head than it really is. Being scared to step out of this box, not knowing what's going on, but also not fully allowing yourself to be aware of your surroundings. So when we see the Eight of Swords, she's standing in water, and we see that the water is a kind of a small puddle. It's nothing huge, but she's blindfolded and has some rope loosely tied around her, and so she may not realize that even though she probably feels the ground underneath her feet, that the only thing she's thinking about is that water and those emotions, and she can't seem to move past that. And so she's almost afraid to take off that blindfold, even though she could easily wiggle out of those ropes, but she doesn't know what's going on around her. Is she surrounded by water? Is she going to drown if she steps too far out of her little circle? So this card is about needing to step out of those feelings of fear or anxiety or guilt, shame, self-doubt. We need to pull ourselves out of that, take off the blindfold, so that we can see that maybe the situation isn't as bad as what it seems. Now, if we add in the year of 2024, the first card we get in that breakdown is the Tower card. And the Tower card can be, it could be something as simple as a flash of insight, a light bulb that went off going, oh, duh. The other thing that it can mean is a blow to the ego. This crown is being lightninged off the top of this tower, and people are falling to their death. And sometimes this card can represent ego. And the people falling to their death are the people who have put themselves up in this big, tall tower. Their ego has been built up so high so that when something happens, they fall to a death of just, the whole tower crumbles. It's about foundations and bases of our lives crumbling. And it can be as big or as little, and it may not always be a bad type of crumble. Sometimes big things happen, and they're actually extremely beneficial when this happens. So we shouldn't always be afraid of this Tower card. We're going to find moments in which actually this big flash of something that came that is just unexpected, and generally it's something that's going to happen regardless of what you do. So for instance, the Death card is about change and transitioning, but generally it's part of our own selves that needs to go through that change and that tradition or that transition, and we're deciding to, or it happened because of like a circumstance where sometimes the Tower card is kind of something that's going to happen regardless. It's just a matter of how it will happen and when. So now the next card we would get in that breakdown, after we break down the number 16, is the Seven of Swords. And the Seven of Swords, again, it can be a bit of a card of a deception, of taking what's needed to give you the higher ground in a situation. But it can easily also mean somebody lying or deceiving, whether that is you or another person. I also have seen this card as deciding that there are some thoughts that you need and thoughts that you don't need. And you are choosing to leave behind thoughts that don't align with your higher self, so to speak. So you're taking with you exactly the ones that you got. Remember, we came out of the Six of Swords, which is before the Seven, and they were taking with them just their swords. And this person is saying, these are mine. I am taking them. This is something that I have decided on my own, and these are part of my own self. I am not taking these other ones. So, to help give us some more context, what we'll do is we will put all of these cards together in a little 3-card spread, and we have needing to step out of our fear or our anxiety or a thought process that is making us believe that things are worse around us than what they really are. We have to learn that we can escape our own mental trap of thoughts. And when we do, we have a huge flash of insight or revelation whenever we take that blindfold off, and then we are struck by the literal lightning of the tower moment, going, oh my gosh, this definitely was not as big of a deal as what I thought it was, and actually, I'm in a much better place now. And once you've come to that realization after the strike of lightning, you find yourself in the Seven of Swords saying, now that I've had this, I am only going to pick up the pieces from this that I need, leave the rest, and carry on forward. So, to me, today, the cards want to tell us a little bit about coming out of the trap of our own mind and allowing things to come in that could actually end up being huge changes of insight to our thought process, or even the way we think about a certain situation once we take ourselves out of that little mental mindfuck that we're in, essentially, and then only taking with you swords that will be beneficial to you moving forward, and making sure that you only take the things with you, whether those are thoughts or memories of a conversation, or maybe even physical things with you that will be beneficial. Just be sure that you do not take more than you need, and not taking from somebody else. Only take what you brought with you and what you actually need to move forward from whatever this is. So anyway, I hope everybody has a wonderful day. I'm a little tired this morning from the Disturbed concert last night, but let me tell you, I don't care that we stood in the pit for 5 hours. My son got to go on stage. Actually, both of my kids went on stage, and my son got a selfie on stage with David Draymond, the lead singer of Disturbed. And let me tell you, proud parent moment right here. So go out, enjoy your day, and I will catch you all later.